Guys, what I am about to show you is mind-blowing, or how I always say, groundbreaking, but I guess in this case, mountain-breaking, because this is not just a little rock fall. This is a mountain collapse, is maybe too much, but it is very rare that you see a chunk of a mountain break up that much. And there are indications that tell you that something's about to happen, because you might ask, where is this video coming from? How come someone stands there and films this? Because this is not a surveillance camera video. This was a hiker that actually filmed this. That was happening in Germany. This is happening in the Berchtesgaden National Park. And guys, this is not like a high difficulty climb or anything. This is still somewhat a hiking trail. And I mean, yes, you can see over the trail that there are already previous rock falls. So that should ring a bell. And let's play that video. Let's see what happens before we talk about this further, how it came that this hiker was able to film this. So here's the video. You see this huge chunk of mountain that is coming down at once. And what's, I don't want to say amazing, but it is kind of amazing that you really see as a whole this massive chunk flying through the air and then land with a smash. So it's not that it started crumbling already when it was breaking and like rolling down on other rocks and then getting divided up. It falls. It has a free fall. And that's quite unique and amazing. And that this was caught on camera is also quite stunning, but there are signs. So this was a hiker that was on the trail. And that hiker was injured, by the way, by that rock fall. It seems the hiker was experienced enough to get away from the rock fall. He probably heard the cracking, heard the noise, and then there are indications. I mean, you can see that this rock, there's a line where it seems to be breaking off. If you watch my channel and you have seen all these other rock slides, mountain collapses that I have shown you, you see the signs. But you also see that there has been like other rocks that previously came down from that area, where you see that the rock is a little bit lighter, this beige brownish area. That's an indication, something's brittle there. So this hiker might have heard the signs, might have gone back to a place where it was a little safer for the hiker. If you look at the Google Earth picture here, you see this is a hiking trail. And if you look into the valley, it looks like Canada, for example, right? It looks like complete wilderness. Is this Alaska? No, it's not. It's Berchtesgaden. It's a very popular hiking trail. You can also go to the Watzmann there, and it's quite flat in the valley. But guys, I have to tell you, and maybe you feel the same if you have watched my videos, especially about the Blatten disaster, but also other videos where in the Alps, these rock slides are coming down. Would you walk through that valley? For me right now, I wouldn't do this anymore. I used to do this a lot in Austria, in Germany, in Switzerland. But now this valley where you also see, they call this Murgang in German, it's basically a rock fall, a rock slide. You see them already. So this is dangerous. This can happen at any time. Of course, especially if there's heavy rainfall, it washes out the stones. But again, this hiker thought he was probably safe. He went back on the trail a little bit and thought he was in a safe position. And then this massive rock came down. And the moment when it reaches the ground, it smashes. And it sends, I would say, rock bombs while it smashes and explodes. And those are very far, and they can They can fall very far. And again, if you watch my channel, you've probably seen the volcanoes, the pyroclastic explosions that they do when they shoot out volcanic rocks, and they can hit you. Your life is in danger if this happens, and you can't outrun that. So the hiker was hit on his leg. He was injured. Thankfully, he was able to get off the trail, off the mountain to safety by himself. But others from that rockfall, they were cut off from getting home. So they had to be flown out with a helicopter. And, you know, at first, when you hike there, you feel you hear only a few loose stones are clattering across the rock. So you think, is that it? But suddenly, like this massive boulder breaks free and crashes down into the valley that is called the Wimbach Valley with this tremendous crash. And I was recently driving a mountain road into the interior of Canada, and you see the mountain walls and you see rock slides, and you drive there, and then they're telling you rocks are coming, be careful. I'm like, what am I going to do if something like this crashes down on the road? Wasn't a good feeling, since I'm reporting about that stuff almost on a weekly basis right now. So you're way more aware of your surroundings. And also in the state of Washington in the US, I saw quite a few, and I was actually making a video for you guys about that adventure. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. So you might wonder, was that hiker really experienced? Because was it smart to stop there? Because if I see rocks crumbling like this is a warning sign. I would get away as fast as I can. Of course, if you don't know exactly which part is breaking off, because if you look at the Google Earth picture, it looks like very cracked. There's other cracks that to me look way more immediate or dangerous than this one. So which direction are you going? You have to be aware of that you get in, because if he had moved forward, he would have been in the path of that boulder. So he chose the right direction, but he stood there, and then you see it in the video, he realizes, whoa, I'm way too close, and he starts running away. And but of course, it's amazing that he was able to film it, and it's amazing that he wasn't injured and that nobody was severely injured. But you know, the hiker recognized the danger, it seems, but probably he didn't estimate how that boulder would fall, that it would have such a free fall that would then explode on the ground and send these rocks his way. They could have hit him in the head. That can end you. And I don't think that he was wearing any protective gear like you would when you do really mountain climbing. Then you wear a helmet, but even that can protect you. A very famous athlete, a German athlete, just was ended from a rockfall while mountain climbing, wearing a helmet. So this is very, very dangerous, and be aware, even if you have normal hikes, this can happen at any time. And it was massive. It was an estimated 4,000 cubic meters of rock and debris that has, we have to say, guys, thundered down the valley in the Berchtesgaden National Park. And that's the southern end of the Watzmann Massif, very, very famous mountain massif. The altitude where this happens is quite high up already. It's like roughly 1.3 miles, 1,700 meters. And it's peak hiking season right now, peak tourist season in this area. This is a very crowded area normally. And also in this area in Bavaria, the summer vacation has started. So this area is crowded with tourists. So the 20 people had to be airlifted because they were above this buried area and they could not go any further. This is they call it the Mountain Watch. The very, very good trained people in case they need to rescue someone. And they have also put that video on their site. So right now, the trail is impassable and it's closed until further notice. And also, rockfalls are still possible, and the authorities make clear they pose a life-threatening risk. So several trails are now locked and closed. Trail number, you see the map here of this area. It's trail number 419, 411, 421, in case you're planning to hike this area. They converge below the Trischübelalm. That's like a hut where you can take a break. So where did this rockfall initially come from? What's the area called? It originated from the Hirschwiesenkopf. That is basically above the junction towards the southern peak of the Watzmann. Very, very famous mountain. Lots of people want to get to that area. And that trail that is closed right now is a popular crossing point for hikers that are heading to other mountain huts. And according to the National Park Administration, they say this area should be avoided at all costs. It's not possible to simply bypass the hazardous area. Stay out of it. The cause of this rockfall, of course, is now being investigated geologically. They're probably asking the question, should we have seen that coming? One thing is clear these days, it's more important than ever to check for possible trail closures when planning a trip, and be absolutely vigilant and look out for yourself when you navigate the mountains. The rock falls and extreme weather events are becoming more frequent at the moment, and mountaineers need to adapt to that. And the authorities are advising, well, move quickly through dangerous areas. But as just a regular hiker that wants to get out in nature, you're not really trained in what's dangerous. If you're a viewer of my channel, you probably are, guys. So they say if you're crossing steep gullies and scree slopes or walking at the foot of like walls with loose rock, you should not rest and continue on your way carefully. And they say if there's any signs of rock falls, you should not continue on your path. You may be able to take safe alternative routes. This all sounds good, but is hiking still fun? If you have to look out all the time, is something going to kill me? It's not really. They say if shizzy's hitting the fizzy, you can find cover behind large rocks or trees. That depends, right? In case of Blatten, that would not have helped you. In case of my recent video that I showed you what happened in India, that would not have helped you. So I say get out if you can. If you run too fast, you can fall, you can injure yourself, but a tree can fall over quickly by a rock slide. So this, they say seek shelter, but that's not really shelter. So, and they say wear a helmet. You should wear a helmet on dangerous trails, especially since rocks can be kicked off by other hikers above you. Yeah, especially if it's like a serpentine and they're above you, that can definitely happen. I have to say at the moment, it takes away the fun of hiking a little bit. For me, I have to say, when I was hiking, I wasn't really thinking much about this. I mean, I was trying to be careful not to fall down the slopes if the trails were more narrow, but that was about it. So yeah, guys, this was that. I think it was a unique video, and that this was captured, because that free fall, this is unusual, and it's barely, I haven't seen this video. I haven't seen a video like this on camera, guys. I hope you liked it. If you want to see more of these rock falls and landslides, check out my playlist, landslides, tsunamis, rockfalls. Check out the Blatten videos, but there's others in Italy, in the Dolomites, the mountain range. Scary stuff. I mean, Blatten is the most famous right now because the whole village has been buried by this monstrosity of a glacier collapse that then triggered a rock slide. absolutely massive, but there's other stuff, guys. So best is you subscribe, you go to my channel page, click on videos, click on recent, and then scroll through it, or search on my page for Blotten or landslide, rock slide. You will find a lot, guys. My channel is called On the Pulse with Silky, but recently I'm also on the slide with Silky, reporting about all that. If you want to fill me up with coffee and support the channel, check out the link in the description. I have a buymeacoffee.com/silky site where you can do this. Click the join button for behind the scene videos, what I'm doing when I'm not doing what I'm doing right now. And you see my animals, my farm, and my doggies, and yeah, just my private life. And thanks for everyone who's new to the channel. Hello, new members. Hello, old members. Hello, coffee buyers. And thank you for your supers here. I hope to see you in the next one, maybe here in the end screen. I also put one Blotten video here in the end screen. It's called Catastrophe of the Century. That gives you an overview what happened there. And from there, you can scroll through the other videos, because in the Blotten video, the others are in the end screen and so on. Kind of like a rock slide chain reaction. Thanks for watching. See you soon.